Good morning, it's 9 a.m. and we are here for consent agenda review. Whatever is happening with the jail exterior.
They are still going back and forth with the manufacturer. They think that they've come up with a different rubberized sealer that goes in between the panels that when installed properly, then you can't tell. And you can't tell that it's, out of tolerance. Their tolerance, they're saying, is a 32nd of an inch, which, yeah.
See that from standing on the
You can
ground.
see it when you're standing right in front of it if you're like just a couple feet away and you're really inspecting it. Once you get 20 feet away now, you can't see it. But it was enough when they were installing it that we all noticed. And but they're still going back and forth with that, and they haven't put any more up. They've put it up on the backside where it doesn't matter, where you can't see anything, but they're working on the sealer for the front and the sides. So
Cindy is now online.
What on earth could we have put $80,000 into that tiny canine building?
that would have been HVAC, concrete, the office portion. We expanded the size of it so that they could have an office in there and actually do training. It wasn't in there before, it was just canine. So it grew quite a bit. And also, we added the lighting. It wasn't original, so lighting around the yard so they can practice at night. Trying to think of what else. That was mainly it. It adds up.
Yeah, it does. My shop didn't cost $80,000 to put up.
You don't have to pay prevailing wage either, though.
That's dumb. Prevailing wage to the brokest portion of the country.
Yeah.
Broker if you're Section 8 government.
This would have been 15 or 20 million less if we built it in Idaho.
Probably more.
It's a big deal. Good morning.
Tom's walk-on items are in the file for you.
I think that's what I'm reading.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
just want to make sure you knew that.
Yes, ma'am. Ladies, site changes.
And the CCUA, the construction contingency, that money was already built into the budget. The less we spend, the more we get back.
Right.
Leidig's contingency budget is 3.2 million. And I think we're at like 330,000 of that we've spent. So that's money we haven't, when I say we're about 8 million under budget, that's not including their contingency or ours.
Right.
We've got another 2.5 million on top of that, so that we haven't used.
Well, at the end of the day, we may be
We
way
could,
under budget.
that's the hope.
Don't worry, we'll use it for something else. It'll go
The
for.
law and justice bill.
Yeah, we gotta figure that one out too.
Yeah.
That's for a later date.
Yeah, Daryl said he's been working on the assessments for the lighting districts. See, there was an increase there.
I don't know if it'll be
Yeah.
easier or not. I printed out the revenue that Daryl. Yeah, so it's a little bit easier to read in case during the budget meetings, you want to see what Daryl had for
Thank
revenue.
you. This is just about the right size. If we just put this in a book, then I can see without my glasses.
And then the other one is the bonds combined, the first jail bond, the second jail bond, and the morgue, which speaks directly to the bond payments we're making and giving us the way we have to supplement it from 2026 to 2030. Just thought it'd be easier to peek at that in the middle of a meeting or something than to try and find it out.
Oh, this is good to have, because I think this is what we're gonna have to use for our budget. And he has been, over the last couple of years, very, especially last year, you know, we look at the or the expenses, but we don't always look at the revenues. We had several departments that have had an overabundance of revenue that they never do collect. So we had us look at that. Thank you, Tom, for doing this.
Yeah,
Really nice.
just thought it'd be a little bit easier during the budget discussions.
Tom, you're over veterans now, right?
I am.
You're like, I think so.
With this invoice for Bates Counseling,
Yeah.
I know we put an office in there for that. Do we pay them too?
You
We
know,
pay them and they get paid? Or we just supply an office and
I
someone
think
else
we
pays
just
them?
supply an office. It's something I haven't had the time to get into yet.
I thought we paid him $32,000.
I'd just like to know it's not a double dip situation.
I
I'll look into
thought
it.
it was 32,000.
Well, this is Renew paying Bates Counseling 2415.
I
So
had
if
not,
we're paying them and we're paying them,
yeah,
that'd be twice.
you're right. I had not heard of Bates Counseling until, I got into the discussion about veteran homeless numbers with Anthony. And he couldn't get them right away. He had to work with some outside agencies from Douglas and Adams, and New Hope, and then Bates Counseling was one of them to get the numbers. And that's the first time I'd even heard of Bates Counseling, so.
But I thought we did in June or July. Why?
I mean, that's kind of what I'm remembering, so I would just like to know if
Okay, no, that's a good question.
paying twice
I'll check it out.
or they're getting paid twice. Supplying an office, a salary, and letting them get paid in the office. Kind of wild.
Or, wait, maybe we were, just a minute. I wish my memory was great. I think Tony was gonna pay him like the 32,000 to keep him. And then we reached out to Dell and Dell had some funding that they could use for that.
Yeah, I believe that's.
Isn't that?
Yeah, I
how it went
remember
down?
that, but this isn't like
Okay.
that. This is
Okay.
like
Yeah, he'd
23 hours at 105.
Yeah, he'd sent me an email. After contacting Hope Source, WorkSource, and Bates Counseling, we were able to get numbers of homeless veterans in Grant County being served. 164 is the number we landed on for the 4 services. Veteran Services 26, Hope Source, Grant County 90, WorkSource 23, Bates Counseling 25.
That's homeless, veterans?
Yeah, and then it says County Adams. So the breakdown per county was Adams was 4, Chelan, Douglas 57, Grant County 90, Kittitas County 210, Okanagan 2, other 21, for a total of
Yeah, so this is
384.
another renew invoice for them. This one's 3465.
For Bates?
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know.
Looks like we got one for August, one for September.
It'd just be nice to know that it's not a set amount and an hourly amount.
right?
Because if that's the case, you might as well just pay for them going wherever. Counseling.
Carrie, that was one that Carrie submitted. Is it okay to promote her so she can answer some questions?
Does she know if there's a base payment to them or not?
Let's-
That'd be the only real question I'm looking to have answered.
Carrie, did you hear Rob's question?
Yes, Renew is using part of their ARPA funding to help veterans and also Boys and Girls Club pay some of their salaries to keep them up and running. So the reimbursements that you guys are looking at today is Renew's portion of the Bates invoices that they're helping veterans pay for to keep that services within the veterans office, to keep it going through the end of the year.
Is veterans paying any additional other than this money from Renew?
That I do not know.
I sent an email to Anthony.
So,
Well, that's my question.
Yeah.
So I already know that, like everything that's been said here, I already know. I'm asking a different question.
I
You
understand,
got
I
it.
understand
You're
the
on.
question.
Okay, so in July 14th, the veterans, I reached out to Dell about the veterans requesting roughly $30,000. Rob Bates was contracted through the state and funding stopped June 30th. So we're basically paying from July. Well, and I know a lot of the funding stopped, but then we somehow received some of the funding. So I don't know. Again, that would be a great question for Tony if this funding was.
Yeah, I'll see. I know he's out right now.
I can say that I normally do the payroll and the accounts payable invoices for vet services, and I have not paid anything to Bates Counseling as far as I can remember. But I am looking through our spreadsheets right now just to double check.
Thanks, Caitlin.
It says funding has been found for Veterans Assistance and Boys and Girls Club. Dell Anderson for Renew was instrumental in locating these funds for you.
yeah, Tony didn't have any funds available, so that's why he
Okay.
wasn't able to pay. That's why these guys jumped in and just started paying. That was my
Yeah,
understanding.
because Boys and Girls Club is 70,000.
Okay, so I did find we paid one check to Bates Counseling for that contract. It would have been at the end of June that we received that invoice, or the beginning of July. But after that, we have not paid anything else to them.
I'm going to send you just kind of the recap here.
And again, this is going to be another opportunity to use Merchant McIntyre to find other federal funding that
Mhm.
we can use with the CVSO. Got an email back from them since we sent them. We have a fully formed agreement with them now. We'll be doing a kickoff call with their quote unquote action plan for Grant County in the next week. So,
Nice to see what they can do.
yeah. Bless you.
Is Carrie still on too?
I demoted her.
Promote her? I just have a question I'm trying to remember.
Excuse me. Okay, Carrie is back on.
Carrie, for the CHG funds, did we lose the portion that Moses Lake received, or did we split it between Hope Source and New Hope and Housing Authority?
We split it between Hope Source and New Hope.
Okay. Did we lose any of it based on not having the immediate shelter?
No.
Okay. I got asked that question and did not remember. And then there was a line in Daryl's budget. Do you have that you emailed us? Cindy has it. There was a line in there that showed LTAC revenue projection. Can we confirm that this LTAC
That's the,
request
those are the
isn't
bonds you're
more
looking
than
at there.
that? Because the received amounts are kind of low a couple of years in a row. I thought $1 million was high.
Is that the Washington?
Yeah.
I just figured I'd print it out so it was big and easy for everybody to read.
We're gonna check this, so we don't lose it,
Yeah, sick.
so we know who has it.
Is this is revenue?
Yep, that's the spreadsheet Daryl sent.
Like this one, it says,
There's two amounts, like 6 something and 6 something.
yeah. Yeah, I guess it's gonna be just barely there.
I can ask Daryl if he can update these numbers up to the day we start our budget hearings. Oops, I guess the wall behind you. In case you
Well,
need
did
to-
you do it through
in
the,
case
I
you
think
need to
he,
reference it during our-
I think he did it through the end of the year, did he?
I think his comment was up to this point.
Oh, okay.
You guys might just review item 12, make sure you're happy and don't want to send it back to LTAC.
Okay, so the list is.
Tom, one thing that we could do is kind of go over the whole LTAC process and then give some recommendation to the LTAC of what the board would like to see also. Because I just, run it. I don't necessarily agree with all of it.
Okay.
But there's a lot of single day events, which if we
Well, a
want.
single day, I thought it had to be a 2-day.
Yeah, well, they're getting pretty soft in there. And,
So look, I'm putting.
there's a lot of chamber funding, which, I understand it all, it'd just be cool to have a
But the
meeting.
city should have their own chamber.
Yep, I agree.
Let me pull it up.
But it would just be nice to maybe,
Because we can't change it, we can push it back.
no, I get that, but we can also give like, hey, we didn't like, bullet points. Because,
I thought the whole idea was beds, heads and beds.
Yes, it has to be, you have to be putting heads and beds on these.
yep,
The cities have got their own version of LTAC, right?
yeah,
Minute.
Daryl's email states that those are the 2026 projections, so.
Okay, for the whole year.
I always try to hold back money. So hopefully this year I'll be holding 180,000.
Who's trying to hold back money? LTAC?
No, I always try to. I always try to tell them, let's hold 15% for some type of capital. Like we still have, 6 steps at the gorge. That would be ideal to get done.
Well, they're the biggest contributor.
Exactly. So,
Biggest crowd, and they do overnight. I'm looking for the, lodging tax. Finally found it.
you get a little grumpy though when I bring it up.
LTAC does?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just, I don't know. I have to be careful because, I know pretty much most of the people that run all these.
I'm trying to print here. Okay. It's not good.
But it'd just be a good study session.
Well, no, we can
And it
definitely.
would help me so I can try to keep it between the lines of what we'd like to see as a
But it's
group.
supposed to be an overnight.
Support. Yeah,
Oh, I lost it.
that's a good one. Nine.
Day at the Lake, 2000. Bass Angler Magazine. Othello Crane Festival. We do have people that spend the night at the fair. They actually have quite a few.
You
Flannel
what?
Fest
Have you
and
heard?
More Vida, do they
Oh,
spend the
what?
night?
Columbia Basin Concert Association.
I don't know. I don't know if they do or not. Well,
They do Quincy, I think.
they're
Rob?
dry camping because we've got all the
Oh.
water blown out in the camp.
Does Flannel Fest and More Vida, do they spend the night?
Final Fest does some camping.
The-
More Vita, probably not much.
Because this is what it is, the golf tournament, Washington Junior Golf Association,
Yeah, so play.
they spend the night?
It's 4 days.
Okay.
And so play,
George Community Hall, 4th of July.
maybe, maybe not.
What do they do, a little 4-day tournament there?
Yeah, high school
That's cool.
tournament. They've never done it in Grant County, I guess.
Huh.
But I mean, I thought that's a good one, support that.
Yeah.
Bass Angler Magazine are 2 fishing tournaments, one in Moses Lake, one in Potholes. Real Recreation is kind of a Grand Coulee kids fishing type thing. 2 years ago, we gave them a net that holds all the fish. They buy fish, kids come and fish off the dock into the net. So everybody catches fish. Day at the Lake is a group that was in Seattle area that does a lot of fishing, and they wanted to bring like a 3-day kids fishing tournament to Moses Lake or Potholes. They requested like 6,000, we gave them 2. They supply all the boats and everything for that. Sandhill Festival, that's in Othello, but it's shoulder season, and they show that maybe like 35-40% of the people stay in Potholes in Moses Lake. Ridge Riders, Colorama. Crescent Bar, didn't really know about that because that's a homeowner association, not a, I don't know. Grant County Fairgrounds, the fair obviously is great. Final Fest is all right, but the ticket price is so much that it's hard to agree with giving 15,000. I mean, the tickets are 100 plus. Moravita is 1 day. Junior golf is 3 or 4 days. Community Hall, George, probably one of the best 4th of July's in Grant County, but it is 1 day.
Yeah, but it goes till late at night.
Yeah, it goes till 11 midnight. Columbia Basin Rodeo, that's the roundup, 40 grand. If you could direct where that money went, I would see giving a little more. Best of Barrels, that's Bobo, and most of her asks are almost full funded because obviously it fills fairgrounds when they're there, and it's a big money maker for the fair and for the city. And their shoulder season events, other than one of them. Royal City keeps growing. They asked for 10, got 8. Central Basin Community Concert. Those are 1-day shows, essentially.
Where's that Central Basin Community Concert at?
Central Basin, I think, does like Quincy and Moses Lake.
Okay.
And then Columbia Basin Allied Arts is, they do like the jazz and the little Christmas shows and for music, usually at the college at Wallenstein.
So why are we giving more to, I'm just curious, Central Basin Concert than Columbia Basin Allied Arts?
Because I think the number of shows for the
Okay,
concert was more,
just curious.
and then I think they gave Umani Festival more money.
What is Umani Festival?
It was an event that happened in September, and it's a pretty decent event. It's a good culture event, shoulder season. Hard on Third, I don't know about that one for myself, but 2,000, that's a 1 day. Imani, I think, is 2 or 3 days. And then Tourism Advisory got 332,000. So that's our year-round advertising. Now ratepayers can also be grant recipients. So Sun Lake's put in I agreed with a couple of those, not
Okay, but the car show, $8,000.
agreed.
I think that's really excessive.
Yeah.
Are they doing something spectacular there?
The car show is pretty good. I mean, it would compete with probably any car show in Grant County or not be bigger.
Well, they probably bring it.
It's a good one.
Outside of
Yeah, it's a good one.
Moses Lake area.
Yeah, no, well, Sun Lakes is in up at Sun Lakes.
Right.
But no, it's pretty, it has a lot of cars. Went through to it during COVID. It was huge.
I'm just thinking they probably bring in people to stay in hotels.
They stay in the campground. And that's our second largest ratepayer as far as health act.
Sand Scorpions, they do a lot.
Yeah, they
Air
have.
show, I thought the air
Giant.
show only had 3,000 to 5,000 people.
The air show, I don't know what it had this year. They're gonna do it free entry this year.
Okay.
So that was that one. Cooley City's Last Stand. Good event. The Quincy Valley one, I don't really know that one. Then Maskers show support. Soap Lake Folk Festival, I think it's a 2-day event in September, maybe July next year. Powerboat Association, basically all from outside of the area. And Spring Fest, probably largest event in Grant County that's not the fair. Quincy Valley Chamber, see the year-round promotion, be nice to have some direction on that.
See, on that, Quincy brings in more money than.
That amount right there, that 30,000 is more than the Quincy gives to their own chamber by double.
Well, and this is
Just
where
to throw
I'm
that out
struggling, I
there.
guess. I would like to see that 30,000 go into
To
more of the
boards.
Grant County. But
Yeah. I'd like to see it go into the road.
that's a lot.
Festival of America, obviously 4th of July laser light show. And chamber.
So are the chambers working with the tourism? Because I feel like
Not really, but
Grant
yes.
County, here we're giving, I don't know, and the city should have their own LTAC money. Do they not have their own LTAC
They
money?
do, yes. But that's where some direction needs to be made, is that I'm not, I mean, we could go executive and I could give my full opinions.
So the Grant County Lodging Tax Advisory Committee gets 63,000. What's that for?
Which one?
The Grant County Lodging Tax Advisory Committee?
That is Caitlin's wages and benefits.
Okay.
And then we put 30,000 aside to have the county hold Placer AI.
Okay,
So
That makes sense.
Placer AI, we purchased that, it's software. Should it not just be placed on the 3506 budget and considered,
Well, it's
maintenance?
completely tourism based. There's not really any reason else to have it, but we need access to it.
Right.
Like I need access to it. We just need access to it so that we can know, okay, so like you can know what that event actually did.
At
You
the
just
end of the
pull it
day,
up.
it's an economic driver for us, right? And we
Yeah.
make decisions based on its information. So I think you can,
so
Make
I'm
a
looking at
case.
sorry, Tom, the Grant
No,
County
okay.
Advisory Tourism. We put $332,000 into tourism for Grant County, which we're doing the whole entire county. I don't know. I'm just thinking it could be a little bit more.
Well, that was cut based on how terrible it has been the last 2 years.
Well, can't we?
Remember magazines?
Yeah, but we
They
have a
do
new
anything.
magazine coming out, which would be great.
Let's see what happens this year
Okay,
with it.
I just feel like it's,
And remember, at 90,000 goes to their marketing director.
well, and I feel like we're a little weak on our county tourism right now.
Yeah, so giving them more money, I don't agree with.
Yeah, but we can at least help direct that.
Yeah, that's what's needed though. That's why I'm going over this list
Okay.
in full. I didn't see any other items that I had any questions on. Did you guys?
I
No.
don't know.
Okay, well then it's 9:30 and we'll roll into our prosecuting attorney's office update.
Good morning, commissioners. Are we on the record? I
You're
just see.
live, yep.
Okay, I just see that there's no clock on there, so that's why I was questioning.
Oh, it's right here.
Okay, no, fair enough. Good morning, Trevor Bevere, Deputy Prosecuting Attorney, here for the Prosecuting Attorney's Office update this morning. As far as, we'll start with the list of contracts that we have this morning. We are making headway on the contracts and getting those turned around. We did provide a list of the current pending contracts to the BOCC this week. We have a lot that are in comments stages and a lot that are just getting wrapped up. So those are put there on the list, and I expect those to continue to improve on the turnaround and whatnot now that we
I
have.
have a real question. Is Rebecca on?
She's not.
Okay, I
She
just want to
can
make
be
sure.
if you have a specific.
No, I just want to make sure I don't see her name if she needs to be promoted. That's all I was asking in case she was here. Sorry.
And so the list, I think, stands for itself unless there's specific questions in regards to that. I do have one other matter that I would be requesting an executive session on for pending litigation or the threat of pending litigation.
The threat, that sounds more serious.
Which RCW is it?
The RCW, as
If
far
you
as,
pull it down, do you want me to pull it up?
if you have it at the fingertips, that would be great, but it would be
Yeah.
I
the
don't
threat
have
of
my laptop down here.
imminent
Okay.
It's all
litigation.
digital now, which creates a problem.
Yeah,
Have it
it's like
handy.
they're all under 110, I don't know.
I've got your pages open, bookmark, executive session. Litigation 4230-110-1I.
Beat me to it.
Do you want, Rob, do you want me to do the form?
Yeah,
or the
I don't
form?
have
Okay.
my laptop, so I don't have the
Okay,
forms.
what time we were gonna,
I think all of us always use the sheet.
I know the cheat sheet, we need to have a laminate one too. How long?
I don't really.
Let's do 6 minutes.
Okay. 9:32 to 9:38.
Thank you.
Barb's right around the corner, we're out. Timed that just right.
Okay.
You're the greatest.
Beyond that, I don't have anything further for the board unless there's any specific questions that I can answer.
And I do have something, after you ask any additional questions, I think we might need an executive session for about 5 minutes on the audio surveillance issue that Trevor's conflicted on. So, once we're done with Trevor,
Okay.
then I need to address that.
We have-
I do have a question on that issue as well, so.
Okay, great, well.
Nothing for me then.
You're free to go.
Yeah,
Trevor will be running out here fast.
Mine's easy.
perfect.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, thank you.
Is
How
it
long do you
something
need that?
for in the executive session?
Do you need your,
I'm good.
It doesn't have to be, it
Barb
has to
saved
do
my
with
day.
private meeting rooms for
Way to go,
attorneys.
Barb.
clients.
She's the best.
Okay,
where
yeah,
was your laptop at?
We can do it whenever you want. It doesn't even have to be in this room.
okay, 5 minutes, please. I think that's.
left it up there after
that.
getting
I think it's
deposed. 5 minutes. Okay, we'll be going into executive session from 9:39 until 9:44 for litigation, RCW 42.30.1101I.
Yeah. Does 5 work? I think that'll be good.
Okay,
get
we're
both
going to
of these
extend
done.
executive session to 9:50 a.m.
On a contract, but it could be.
It is 9:50. We are out of executive session.
So two different contracts on the list.
Okay.
One of them is the one about this insurance attorney. We've made a couple of offers to set up a meeting so that we could like meet with them and hear what it all is. I'd like to go forward with that. I haven't gotten a response from the PAO's office as to whether we should do that or not.
That
want
is
to
for
do
the
that on the list.
recycling thing, right?
Yeah, for the-
Yeah, so, the last emails that I had with you, were that we were waiting for Andy to reply, and I had also CC'd him on that email and noted for him that we were waiting on him so that we could internally have a meeting. Without getting too far into the weeds at this point, and we'll talk more later. Our take and Jen's take as well, Jen Hammer, is that the way that their fee structure works and their business model works and the terms of the grant, we will likely end up losing money out the door because any money that's collected from insurance has to first and foremost pay back the grant before it goes into our pockets. So we would basically just be doing this for no payout. That was our take. That was Jen's take. We can get more into the details later, look at the actual terms, but that's why we wanted to sit down, have a meeting with you, Andy, all the stakeholders, and
Why don't I
figure out
get
what we're
that set
doing.
up then? So I'll
Perfect,
get that
yeah.
set up and try and maybe sometime next week.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
perfect.
my understanding that that wouldn't affect our grant, but that was what I was told.
The other one is the agreement with Samaritan Hospital that Trevor has.
Okay.
He's had it for a while. This has already been negotiated between us and the hospital, including the commissioner.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of, yeah, there's no big red flags here, and we can go forward.
Is this paying the balance for the?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Have you follow-up emailed him? Sorry. I can't
So
search
when
my
I
inbox right now.
followed up with him, he indicated that he was gonna put on a different hat. And I said, well, this has already been negotiated and decided, so I just need you to contract. I think that was about 2 weeks ago. So.
I would definitely call him, follow up with them, let him know your timeline's changed. I don't know that he has, he might have one looming deadline, but I think he might be able to work this in if you just express to
I'm just
him.
trying to keep him at the top of the radar.
Yeah, I'll let him know when I go up as well, but I would definitely. And just to loop you in, I did loop Lindsay in. I'm hoping to get that Apple contract done today, and then we can discuss how Renew wants to proceed, given my feedback. And I also have some Goodwill contracts for them that hopefully will be pretty quick with minimal comment. I doubt that there will be problems. Are there any other contracts that you guys are concerned about while we're here?
I think so.
In my mind, I'm thinking no.
Okay, well, if that changes, you can always let us know.
Shoot you an email.
Okay, great. Anything else for the prosecutor's office? Okay,
We're like, we don't think so, but as soon as you leave, we'll think of 5 things.
that's okay.
No, I
We're
have
always
nothing in my
upstairs.
notes, so it's easy peasy.
Okay. And thank you for letting me fill for water.
And good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go into a quick recess until 10 a.m. when we're back for HR.
We can, that can be
Mostly
part of the
into-
next
I think
bond
it's
we'll
in
do
front
underground
of-
tunnels.
Oh.
Well, that is.
Over here, I was
cool.
like, man,
Good
it's
job. I
chilly
mean,
under
I
the
think
coat.
it's in the legal system.
Good morning, it's 10 a.m. and we are here for our human resources update. Do we have any public comment
I'll put my
today
hands on it.
that has to do with our human resources agenda? We have GCR and Kay Stockton online.
Yes, please. Okay, K Stockton does not, so GCR, gonna allow you permission to unmute yourself. GCR, do you have public comment?
Take that as a no.
Okay.
There is no public comment, so labor relations.
Hey, we don't have anything for labor relations today or for number 3, job application evaluations. So we'll go to number 4, personnel disciplinary matters, and we will go into executive session. I will start with probably 5 minutes.
Okay.
Barb's like, I'm getting my steps around the courthouse. She probably has it timed out, like, okay, this is a 5-minute walk, this is a.
All right, we will go into executive session from 10:02 to 10:07 for personnel disciplinary matters, RCW 42.30.1101F. I don't, you just heard.
Got 2 minutes.
We'll extend executive session to 10:10. It is 10:10 and we are out of executive session.
Okay, thank you. No decisions were made. None to make. Item number 5, position management. Development services, last week we brought forward the request for a second deputy fire marshal. The board asked to hold it until this week. Are you
This is for a second one, not the original first one.
That is correct.
And we have yet to hire the first one.
That is correct. They are doing a second round of interviews today and tomorrow
For the first one,
for the first one.
I'm good with just one.
Yeah, I think right now, because our budget isn't looking 100% solid, so I am good with just the one that we planned, and not doing the additional, the second one.
Okay, so I hear 2.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second one until after the first year, maybe.
Just so you know, that's Nathan's plan with the candidates, right? He just texted that to me this morning. He's doing an interview and wants to walk the candidates through the space. I want to let him know before that interview.
Okay. Okay, so I've got that down. Thank you, board. Budget, finance, compensation, number 6. I don't think I need to say any more than anybody else has already said. Other than I'm working on it.
I did reach out to Daryl, and he gave us some numbers. Let me just pull up this revenue.
And Tom made it easy to
Oh.
reimburse people.
For
You're
everybody
upside
folks
down,
over
but
here.
that's
Well, you know, I know my classes, I'm in denial. So, I did talk to Daryl, Thursday or Friday, and just kind of was bouncing, I've run it by these two commissioners, that our budget, we're probably gonna have to go after just our projected 2026 revenue, because we really don't know where 2025 is, what our reserve is. 2025, we balance our budget with reserve. I think we're gonna have to I have no idea where we're at with 2025. Just stick with our 2026 budget. If we're taking $42 million in, our budget will be 42 million.
And as near as I can tell, whenever I've gone upstairs to ask Mandy about the revenue numbers, it's apparent to me, I don't think she's worked on them at all
Since what month?
May or June.
Well,
Since
the
the last
revenue,
time they
yeah.
were posted.
Well, and even Daryl said, if you look at current
Yeah,
expense, the
look at
numbers
the-
are gonna be wrong because we have transfers in and out, so that's not a
Yeah.
correct number.
Yeah.
So I think
Okay.
if we can get our revenue,
Yep.
whatever our revenue forecast is, it might feel a little tight, but because we use the, I don't know, $250,000, I can't remember what we balanced our budget with last year out of reserve. I think we just stick with our 2026 numbers. And then it'll catch up some, I mean, I talked to Daryl about this because it's like, what do we do on this situation? He
Yeah.
agreed with that would probably be the best.
May. Not bad.
Can we go into an executive session?
How long, which reason?
We're going to go
Employee
into,
review.
yes, employee evaluation. RCW 42.30.1101G.
How long? 10 minutes?
Yes, please.
We're going to go into executive session for 10 minutes, coming out at 10:25 a.m. for evaluation, RCW 42.30.1101G.
First question.
Could we
I
reach
won't-
out to Benton County? and ask
It is 10:25, we're out of executive session, no decisions were made.
Rob, it looks like we had in May, 1.6 million, and in June of 2024, we had 3.6 million. So June 30th, 2025, we had 1.6 million left in that account. I think that that's data processing 501. I think that's our,
Tom will look into it. He'll follow up. And then if there is any, that much in there, I think that we utilize getting this thing working. Because it's pretty bad when you can't set a budget because you don't know the budget. You have directors saying, can I add a new position? Because I don't know if we have any money.
well, I guess it's an easy ask. No, not right now. We don't know. Maybe.
It's an easy answer. So,
Nothing on recruitment today.
Are we supposed to sign this?
No, it's just for,
Oh, there's a signature on here, so I didn't.
oh, that was mine. I just made a copy of,
Okay.
I sign it for Larissa for our records. So this is the 2026 healthcare plan contribution sheet. This is what we put up on the website. So there is a 5% increase. That was the recommendation by Hub, which I adopted and approved last week.
that 5% increase, is it broken down, employees pay some, county pay some, or is that just the county's share?
It's broken
You
down.
go to the doctor
How's it broken
someday.
down?
Well, we have a, it is a, I'm gonna mess it up. It's a 85,
15.
15 split.
85 county or 80?
85 county.
But I thought if you're not, that's the buy-up, if it's just the core, I thought the county pays all of
The
it.
county pays all of it, yep. So buy up, county pays the core amount, and then for spouse and children, that is the cost for the employee or the dependents. That split is. Any questions on that? Okay. I don't have anything further for the board. Does the board have anything for us today? Going once?
No, I'm looking, I'm sure, I'm looking at all my notes. It doesn't look like it. I think we're,
I don't have anything more.
Okay.
we are good.
And I appreciate you listening to my little rant. I just have concerns, and
I think we all do.
so thank you for
But
listening.
don't worry, we put Tom in charge of solving it because the three of us can't figure it out.
And I will be of assistance however I can.
Thank you.
Well, at least you bring bad news in a kind way.
Try.
I like that.
I don't think it's bad news. I think we know we're listening.
Try. At least with a smile, right?
That's
Smile
it.
always helps.
Well, if that's all, then
That is it.
we will go into recess until 11 a.m. when we are back for our weekly commissioners meeting. Good morning, it's 11 a.m. and we are here for our weekly commissioners meeting. I will now call the meeting to order and begin with an open forum for public input, 3 minutes per person, 15-minute time limit. Do we have any audience members with public comment? Hearing none, we have one call-in user, GCR, Barbara.
Okay, GCR guest, I am allowing you permission to speak. Do you have any public comment today? GCR guest.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Bye.
Aye, motion passes to approve the agenda. Do we have any correspondence, emails, letters of support that need our support or response?
I
Go
don't.
ahead.
None.
I don't know if this is the one. Raina reached out and she would like to put a small budget in for 2026. I don't know if she had $2,000 or $4,000. Toyoyama would like to send some kids over in August, and Kamaki would like to do youth exchanges online, which they usually go through the school district, but Raina helps facilitate those. So I didn't know. She was going to get them together.
If she was not involved, would they be coming anyways?
I don't know.
That would be,
Because she's kind of the liaison, and they do pay her as well. And Kamaki would like to send kids in 2027. So they will do every other, I think they come in 25, yeah. But it is very minimal what we pay. And the school takes the bulk of that. One of their teachers is doing it.
okay.
So I'd say we're getting a pretty good bang for our buck right now that it's drastically reduced.
Yeah, the reduction's good. Any other items? All right, do you have any roundtable items for today?
I do not.
None. Caitlin, anything for you?
No, sir.
No. John? Okay,
Mention of Tom's walk-ons.
yeah, we do have Tom's walk-on items. Here they are, for whoever wants to make that motion at the end.
Written down, it probably was my wrong agenda.
Then following this meeting, we have a 11:30 with KB Vince Bryan and a 1 PM for budget finance meeting that's still on.
Yes, and Daryl's emailed the three of you his information yesterday.
Okay, cool. All right, if there is no other roundtable items, I'll entertain a motion for consent agenda.
I do have we want to look at the disbursement of the LTAC, or do we want to go ahead and approve that? They're kind of on that board. I think some of them, I just feel like we're spending a lot in the cities, and they get most of the LTAC money anyway in the cities. They have more hotels in the cities.
Yeah, basically, we would have to make a recommendation to send it back to LTAC if there was changes that you want. At the same time, I think I could probably give information on the changes in the meeting that would basically follow. Or we can approve and then set parameters for next year. But I do agree with you. I agreed with you 3 years ago. But we need to put some type of parameter in or opinion, pass on a board opinion of what we would like to focus on, kind of like we've done with tourism advisory. And until we do that, it's going to be the same thing. And like I said, I could go into my own opinions being one of the board members, but.
Kevin, what are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
I mean, you would know more than anybody, being a board member, where we need to make changes. So if there's a recommendation that we need to send back to them, then I think you'd be the appropriate.
So right now, if you were to not approve and you don't recommend changes, you recommend basically relook at what you've submitted to us and then send back a revision.
We can't to Caitlin.
Yeah, we can't give a direct.
No, but we can't we say chambers should be supported by their city, the cities that they're in.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's
Yeah.
100,000 right there. We're pretty close. Aren't there three?
maybe 4.
So I don't mind helping a little bit, but
Like
I
the
don't
Freedom
think.
Chamber, I don't know that they get a lot of support
I'm pulling up.
from
Well, see, and
the city
that's,
itself, like Quincy.
Quincy gets $1,600 a month from their LTAC from the city. This isn't the approved, yeah, these are the approved, right? What did I put the approved in here? No, these aren't.
But doesn't, I mean, isn't Quincy supported by some of the businesses there, the bigger?
Yeah,
businesses?
just like Moses Lake.
Right.
You know, and the argument when you're in LTAC is, well, Moses Lake Chamber doesn't run events. Because they really don't run events. You know, like Sip and Stroll. Moses Lake Chamber doesn't run that. Downtown Business Association does. And they try to support it and they don't try to interrupt with it, right? Because they're trying to support that. Whereas City of, like Ephrata, they run their own events. I think they even run Sage and Son. Like they run the events. So
Right.
the issue that you had in the past was Sip and Stroll was a one-day event. So LTAC technically, when I started, didn't support that. And then a couple of years ago, they went to where they wanted to support one-day events because supporting a one-day event could turn it into a two-day event. And then it started getting to where you wouldn't support a Sip and Stroll, but you'd support Sage and Son. And then it basically just kind of argued to getting to where you just gave a flat amount to the chamber and they did it for advertising for events in county. But like Cindy said, we already pay in tourism $330,000 to do that. And I don't know how much they're working together, more than they were ever before. I'd say that in the last year. But just how you want to set it up fundamentally. If we want to be strict on one-day events don't get funding, one-day events do. And then if you give flat amounts to chambers or if you don't.
So we give Coolidge Chamber on this 30,000, Ephrata Chamber 30,000, Moses Lake Chamber 30,000, and Quincy Chamber 30.
Yeah, and the reason that they did that was just
120,000.
fairness.
Yeah. Well, and I don't mind a little bit, but I think I'd rather see that money rolled into.
I would love to see that money held and then put into our road project around the gorge. Because people
I'm not
go to the
saying-
gorge and get in and get out, people have service and they have all of that, then they're gonna go into the communities versus just go to a venue and get the heck out of here.
Have they always done 60,000 for Moses Lake Spring Festival? That seems higher than normal.
No, it's ranged anywhere from 12 to 80.
Okay. How many people attend that?
It was like 70 something thousand.
Yeah, quite a few.
Big as a fair.
So it was as big as the fair,
What did the fair get?
80. Plus Moravita, plus Final Fest.
Well, and I'm,
Fairs,
like, we have
5 days.
concerts in the area.
Spring Fest is 3 days, 4 days.
This Flannel Fest is a weekend, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Moravita, is that a weekend or a day?
so this Saturday,
Just one day?
used to be 2 days.
I don't know if you guys want to hold that. I have a perplexity search on, what happens if the county commissioners disagree with LTAC recommendations on grants. When commissioners disagree with the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee recommendations on grants, the commissioners have the final authority to accept, reject, or modify those recommendations. The
I
LTAC,
don't know if we can mod.
Gary said we could modify it. We had to send it back.
in practice, commissioners or city councils sometimes reduce the amounts recommended by LTAC, reallocate funds to other projects, or send the recommendations back for further review. This can cause frustration among LTAC members because it may feel like undermining the established evaluation process. However, any changes or rejections by the commissioners must comply with the law, and if there are concerns about legal procedural issues, the commissioners may request additional review. For example, a city council may reduce the recommended funding amount because they want to distribute funds more evenly among applicants. If conflicts of interest or legal issues arise, the commissioners may return the applications to LTAC for reexamination. Overall, the commissioners board have the authority to override LTAC recommendations, but are encouraged to respect the advisory committee's work and consider process improvements fairly and transparently. So.
Okay, because I think
If-
Jerry always said that if we can't change it, we have to send it back.
Um,
So we could redo something.
In Washington State, the commissioners or city councils disagree with the LTAC. They have legal authority to approve different amounts than what LTAC recommends, but they're bound by specific state law procedures. The Q rules are the governing body, Commissioners Council, can only select grant recipients that were recommended by the LTAC. No new applicants can be added. That's from the state legislature, Washington State Legislature. If commissioners wish to change the amounts awarded from what LTAC recommended, they must submit their proposed changes to LTAC for additional review and comment. LTAC must be given up to 45 days to give feedback before the final action. After this 45-day period, the commissioners can finalize their award decisions even if LTAC does not agree. This process means that commissioners make the final decision, but are likely required by law to involve LTAC review on any changes. So I bring this up in case you just wanted to like table it for a week.
Yeah, let's table it for a week. Are you okay tabling it for a week?
Indifferent for myself.
It's just going to take, I don't know if you want to have the PAO's office chime in on that and review that and then provide
Well, but it says we
advice.
send it back. I don't mind sending it back to the LTAC. Suggestions.
And if they take their 45 days, then it won't be done before the budget's passed, so that's the
Right.
Yeah,
kicker there.
yeah.
Well, if it's gonna be under this amount, then it's up to, which is okay. So, I'm good either way. I would like to have like some parameter of expectations put onto this because,
So maybe it's better that you go ahead and pass that today and then you set up a meeting with LTAC and say in the future, we'd like to operate this way or that way. And
well, that's
create-
kind of what I was thinking originally, but then we need to set an expectation and then pass it on to our representatives, basically. But I'm good to hold to,
Up to you.
but we wouldn't hold, we would move to basically send it back for
Reexamination
yeah.
with
re-review.
your recommendations. So you have to make some recommendations, get them in writing and send that back with.
Yeah, so we can hold a week and then decide if we want to do that or
Okay.
wait until next time.
So who does that? Who puts those recommendations to, are you going to do that? And
I
then,
think we could do
We
it as
would
part,
do
we
it
can put it in our
together.
work session. It'll give us a week to think about it. Okay, I think I'm ready.
Do that next week's work session.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda items 1 through 16. Holding number 12 for a week and then putting the lodging tax advisory committee recommendation on an agenda next week to discuss.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes as presented by Commissioner Carter. I'll entertain a motion for the walk-on items.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the 2 walk-on items for the Grant County Jail construction. First walk-on is a change order in the amount of $569,234. And the second walk-on will be again for the jail for a change order in the amount of $235,887.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Only discussion would be if anyone had any questions on those items. We did discuss them during the consent agenda review period. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes to approve the 2 walk-on items as presented.
Mr. Chair, I just want to note that even though the walk-on items are an increase, we are still under budget on the jail thus far.
can I further comment on that? On that, the contingency use form authorization. That money is already in the budget as the contractor's budgeted funds they're using, so it is not over and above the contractor taken from anywhere else, so.
That was why I said in the consent agenda review period, because we went through all of that. I can see somebody is listening to that and going, whoa,
We're over budget.
we're over budget.
Thank you, Dash. So am I adding the LTAC then to next week's
Work
agenda?
session.
But do I need to add it to consent?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess
it's just holding for a
it just-
week, yeah, and then we'll discuss.
you'll discuss it and then how you're gonna move it forward. Okay.
We'll
So we'll put it on there.
Put on one of our.
Reimbursement request from Renew on Harper 3400. Reimbursement request from Renew on ARPA 2100 for veteran services. Reimbursement request from New Hope on CHD 22,005. Reimbursement request from New Hope CHD 24,008. CHD New Hope 24,006. Reimbursement from Source 55,000.
Reports on that. Can you get that thing set up?
Reimbursement Hope Source CHD 46,000. Oops, sorry.
Slang it.
Reimbursement request Hope Source CHD 39,000. LTAC funding hold for 1 week. I guess I can just keep that notes right there. Letter of support from planning manager. What is next? New Hope's Youth Homeless Demonstration. Rural Arterial Program Project Agreement, CRAB. Turnkey and Hillcrest Lighting Assessment. We do have a tentative date set for November 25th. Here are your 2 walk-on items.
You jumped to the red.
It's flipped over.
My bad.
I'm gonna do it out of order.
Anything further, Barb?
No, sir.
It should all be in order.
Thank
No
you.
Rob and Kevin trying to.
Trying to pull it over.
I know, no, I don't trust us. You should never trust the county commissioner. When they're always in the dark and they have no idea what's going on.
All right, it is 11:20 a.m. and this concludes our consent agenda today. We will be back in session at 11:30 with Vince Bryan for KB discussion. Good morning, it's 11:30 a.m. and we are here for a KB discussion. We do not have Mr. Bryan with us yet, so we'll stand at ease until he arrives and be back online. All right, it's 11:36 a.m. and we are back for our meeting.
Now you're in the meeting. We can see you on our end. Okay, you got it? Yep, please do. Oh, there you go. We can see the top of your head.
Great, great.
Hear you. Good deal. I'll go ahead and hang up now.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
I cannot hear anybody.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Here's-
let's see if I can increase the volume here. I'm sorry, please.
Oh, it might be us. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you this morning. I did have an opportunity to get together earlier. Uh, I can't see well enough to see who is actually there. However, my councilwoman and I were together a short time ago, and I wanted to have the opportunity to tell you about something that we're planning here on the property, which in its largest sense is known as the Columbia River Reserve. Fundamentally, you would know that property perhaps as Cave B. It initially included the Gorge Amphitheater, the Cave B winery, the Sage Cliff Inn, and all of these homes and properties that have been built on that what was originally close to 1,000 acres. Carol, my wife, and I, as you may know, have been very much involved in moving things on the property here forward for the past 45 years. And we're at the final stage of putting in play the various things that were approved as part of the master plan by the council in 2006. Amongst the things that were in that master plan, there was what was called a theater district that's been moved around as to the specific location, but it is very relevant to what I'm here to talk to you about, as what we're thinking about, we think is something that has enormous, uh, how can we say, special qualities that will be extraordinarily productive for both the county, the state, and hopefully beyond that. Um, as you know, we've had a 40-year experience with the Gorge Amphitheater, and we've been able to very carefully follow the effect that something like that has had on both local taxation issues, but perhaps even more importantly, on what it's brought as far as recognition on, if nothing else, that Central Washington is a very special place from the perspective of its natural beauty and the tourism and so forth, and the other innumerable benefits that can be experienced while over here. What the project is that I'm really speaking to is on an area that's about 6.5 acres located on the top of a butte within the master plan. Uh, Whereas the Gorge Amphitheater it has a vast, enormous presence. Uh, this is not. It's intended to be an intimate experience of a celebration of the arts, the sciences, the environment, and the greatness of mankind's achievements uh, over the centuries, basically, and more recently. So what this is a center for the performing arts, but also the sciences, as well as a celebration of the place that we live and the incredible natural events that have taken place here over the past 600 million years and so forth. Um, I am convinced that the idea of exposing, especially our young people, to alternatives, uh, good alternatives in the arts and the sciences and in the environment can only have a really positive effect. And though the Gorge is great at rock and roll and all of that kind of thing, when we started it years ago, it was much more eclectic. It went from rock and roll to all varieties of music, including symphonic music, even as far as live Shakespeare productions. That goes way back to the beginning. Well, it's disconcerting to Carol and I to see that it has morphed into something which doesn't have that wide field of exposure uh, to young people. It's really rather limited to certain situations. So what we're thinking about here is modeled after something that's in a town called Ravenna in Italy, where in an extraordinarily beautiful location, uh, a stage was created and performances of the symphony, classics, ballet, live theater, and all kinds of things that you would see in a very special place are carried on. It's so popular, though, being started in 1990, that quite frankly, you can't get a ticket to it years ahead of time. I think this can be done here. In the spring of last year, we went to a spot on top of the butte, which was extraordinary by its uniqueness, because this is just a solid rock, there was an area of remarkable growth of plant life. There didn't seem to be a source of water or anything else. And this year, after all of these years, we explored it and were able to dig down through the center of this, where the soil is only a half inch deep on the top of the rock. We were able to dig in that location 15 feet down. And then when we moved outward from there, we extended it for about a 47.5 foot radius, where we exposed rock which hadn't been exposed for 575 million years, and were able to blow with water that and clean up that rock that had been buried all that time, and it formed a sphere, a circle, a remarkable circle surrounded by beautiful rock, and created a rock wall there, 10 feet high, at the perimeter. In looking at that, and as we've always over these decades tried to look at the environment and see what the environment was best intended to be, if you can use that kind of a term, not talking predetermination, but simply what the contours of the land allowed it to be best utilized for, it occurred that this could and should be a theater, an indoor theater. Um, in working further along that, that could hold about 875 people, making it a much more intimate indoor theater than theaters such as the Fifth Avenue or the Paramount in Seattle, which hold about 2,500 or 3,000 people, and certainly far less than the Gorge Amphitheater, which holds, what, 24 to 30,000 people. To make this economically viable and to attract people from around the world, which we really hope that it would do, it requires, based on the business models coming out of the place I was referring to in Ravello, about 2,000 people. So things have been scaled to that in the planning. That meant that an indoor theater of 850 had to be accompanied by an outdoor theater of about 2,000. In essence, another amphitheater of much smaller nature, but very much integrated into the environment and very much focused at being something much more intimate. We started on the excavation of that just to see what could be done, and it has resulted in a remarkable place. It certainly isn't operational as anything, and we're just beginning the process of bringing this to the attention of the authorities, wherein we need the proper approvals all along the way. But we've done enough that we can do simply by what we've done, basically digging dirt, if you can say that, to see the potential of the place. We've also been in contact with the symphony, the Wenatchee Symphony, the head of the Department of Music at Central Washington University, the Port District, the Seattle Symphony, the Seattle Opera, and many other groups, including architects that have been we've used here, the great architects of Seattle, as well as builders and other such things, basically to put together budgetary items and to create an understanding of what all of this would cost and so forth. This is a project far bigger than what Carol and I can do alone. We don't see it that way. We see this as a philanthropic process as well as a public-private process. such as things that have been done, whether it's Skamania down by Vancouver, or working with the poachers who are raising bonds or whatever it may be to fund this, because it will take that to do it. Something that will take uh, several years to reach final form, but which we hope could be actually done uh, to the degree that at least toward the end of August of 26, it could be introduced to the public with live performance. Um, the the place is so special by virtually everybody that's seen it that it really becomes uh, obvious the potential of the place. We used to live in Italy, in Europe. We know the place we're talking about there. We've been back numerous times. Um, and if it can achieve what that has achieved, it will bring uh, tourism truly, as the gorge does, um, from around the world to our site here. That is to say, Grant County. You may know that at, for example, the Dave Matthews concert this year alone, 60% of the attendees were from outside of the United States. So, is something going on here in our community capable of doing that? Yes. But this is not just intended as an international place. It obviously is built such that we living here can enjoy this on a continuous scale, whether it's going to be done by our local community businesses or whether it's going to be done by those which extend beyond that, whether they want to have things in the multi-purpose nature of this structure, that it can be done. So it's available to everybody. But for about 2 weeks out of the year, it would be modeled after this event and bring to the community great symphonies, great composers, great artists, live theater, ballet, jazz, um, all kinds of uh, situations, classical things at the highest level that wouldn't normally be available to us outside of a major metropolitan area. But I think it's been proven here on the site. Neither Carol or I have any doubt that it can be done. And nor do we have any doubt that this is something that would be sort of our final hurrah, if you want to call it, after 45 years of trying to bring something special to the property, acknowledging the beauty of the environment and being extraordinarily sensitive to that, as well as the innumerable friends and people that we have come to know and meet and enjoy. So I think it's time for us and our county to show the world what we have here and what we can be. And so I wanted to bring this to your attention very early on. This is truly in the preliminary and planning phases. But it's going to get onto a fast track real soon because the team that's being put together in the arts, in the sciences, uh, are at the top of their games, and it's just going to be fantastic to work with them and hear their ideas and share them. So I guess I should stop talking here for a second. I could talk forever on this and see if any of this, um, um, from your perspective, raises questions or anything that you might think or want to speak to. I would appreciate hearing from you enormously.
It doesn't look like we have any questions here. We're just kind of listening to your proposal, so.
All right. Well, thank you. And again, thanks so much for coming the other day. Um, I guess my proposal really is an inquiry as to in the public-private sector, though we certainly will go around and do our canvassing, if you will, to the companies in our region, the major players. That would include everything from obviously the information technology sector. We have fertilizer companies, we have BMW, we have all a remarkable number of remarkable businesses, certainly within the county, to see if they can come on board. This is obviously done no matter where these kinds of cultural performance centers are built. But this won't just be anyone, this place. I've got to emphasize the fact that this isn't going to be, though we've gone to many Greek and Roman forums where there's a formal structure here, this is going to be something which truly is based on the land itself. That it will be incorporated in a way unknown, quite frankly, in the world to integrate the environment into every aspect of what's done here, exposing the rocks and the colors and the desert and the sage and the underground rivers and all of these things that we have here on this remarkable piece of property to which we feel to be stewards. We don't feel an ownership piece at all. But the question that I really am coming to is how best to move forward in developing a public-private endeavor, how to structure that, who to be talking with, how to sit down, how to create a basis for this kind of a relationship. I have spoken with the Port District. They have ideas. We're going to be on their formal agenda on the 21st of November. I've spoken to individual members, not all yet. That's certainly one avenue. But I think it's going to take the totality of all of it. So I don't know if you have any creative thoughts that you might share now, or if we can get together individually or collectively to explore thoughts and ideas if you think it's worthwhile. I know I do, and I hope, I guess, that you do too.
Well, it'd certainly be interesting to see what you've done out there so far.
Well, and let me extend that invitation right now. You name the time, and we'll make it happen. I think it's best seen now, and I'm saying that only in light of what these weather changes is it goes downhill, as we move deeper into things. So you certainly are invited to come today. You can come anytime. Next week, I have to go back to New Jersey. I'm still very much involved in the neurosciences, and we're working with Department of Defense grants on a means of changing the physiology of the brain. I don't know what you know about me, but that's another life that I lead. So we're doing some animal work back there at the New Jersey Institute of Technology. So that's going to take me away next week. But I'm here this whole week and would love to take whatever time works for you. On Friday, my grandson has invited his grandparents, Carol and I, to come to their school, which is on the other side of the mountains, for Grandparents' Day. And we have said we will definitely be there. So the best days out here from my perspective, it would be, I guess, today, tomorrow, anytime during those. Please come. I don't know if that works for you or not.
Maybe contact us when you get back from your trip to New Jersey.
Well, I'm going to fly back into town on Wednesday night of next week. So if there is a time that you might consider in the Thursday or Friday of next week, I will be back.
Okay.
I don't know if that's something you might consider looking at your calendars now, and I'll make it a part of my calendar.
Okay. Barb has your number, so we'll give you a call then on Thursday.
Okay. Is that the correct place to start with that visit?
I think so.
Yeah, at least let's at least take a look at it.
All right. That's wonderful. I'll stand by. Thank you so much for the time. I really look forward to your coming. We'll see you next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
do a quick recess until 1 p.m. when we are back for our budget and finance meeting. Thank you. Good afternoon. It is 1 p.m. and we are here for our monthly budget and finance meeting. We have nothing yet,
We have,
but we can patiently wait. I do not believe Michelle will be here, so we won't be signing any minutes. And Daryl's coming. Said.
I saw him walk in the door.
Today's, his Tuesday. Doesn't he go to the
Is what?
Tuesday? His, Rotary. Thank you, Barb.
He just walked in the door.
Okay, usually it's Rotary.
Taxes are due Friday,
It's a big day for him. He
is
said.
it?
Yep.
I have to pay some taxes.
I saw Cindy's come through.
Oh,
Good
good.
job.
They're not supposed to go through till the very last day, so somebody's paying those early. They're probably like,
No,
"Oh,
that check scanner that we got on board last year, that is such a time saver.
Well, sometimes Daryl, like, I'm missing
Oh my
one
gosh.
sometimes, and he'll let me know. But yeah,
He's not
I would
running
usually
it.
bring them in like the very last, like 4 o'clock Friday night.
Yesterday, we had 2 flats of mail and I processed it in 4 hours. I mean, that's huge.
I can't afford to buy
Huge.
Halloween candy now.
You
that I paid
deposited
my
it
taxes.
also?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
It's going
So it
to
just
look
makes,
Accurate?
yes, it makes a file and it sends it to the bank and we keep all the images and,
That's
Okay, last year, because last
It's
year it wasn't
amazing.
you. What
well,
was different
April
to-
was,
like the
April was
new,
rough because we were just learning
Okay.
and yeah, that was,
Are these the same checks that if somebody walks into a bank with them and they hand them across the counter, they come in?
not the same.
Not
Oh, not the same. There he is.
Bull in a china shop.
Thank you, sir.
I just
What are
want
the
to
two parts
say,
what are the two parts you're playing, Daryl?
it was a really cute show.
I play an old man, and then I play Representative NBC.
I'll be there Thursday, Darrell. We better put on a show.
You will.
I'm busy Saturday, so I can't come to the premiere night. Tickets are $20.
I saved you a seat.
It's a cute show. I
Thanks.
don't even know what it was about. Hey, Amanda.
Mandy said that she's printing some stuff off real quick, and then she'll sit down.
For you.
All right. Right now, did we call to order yet?
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Erupted. Yep.
Oh, okay. All right, state pool is still around 417. Don't know when the next potential rate cut is, but the drop in the state pool didn't do that full cut amount. So the curve isn't as steep. And so that's why the state pool rate is still not moving down as much. So we're keeping a lot of our money in the state pool. We did buy in October 2 pieces at 414 and 413 of 3 months callables. That would, if we have a rate cut, then these rates would be higher than the rate with the state pool we'll eventually get to. So just had another offer, and I'm not sure, I got to write with the numbers. So we had another call, we have the green calls. We actually have another call for a 457 for November 5th that is being called. And we're just eventually getting into these call opportunities and expecting them to get called based on the lower interest rates. The sales tax revenue numbers near the bottom. We're still doing well compared to a year ago. We're over 900,000 ahead of last year for the county. But of course, I'm budgeting at least an $800,000 drop for jail next year. So our sales tax will be less than this year. for the revenue injections I've passed on to everyone. The countywide though is just around 2% with the city, so which means the cities actually are not doing as well as us again.
Is that because of the jail?
No, well, the cities
see some
is a countywide number, so if you take away the county out of this means the cities are overall less than, are in the negative when you take out the county. So in its totality, I don't know what cities are less than a year ago, but some things are just they're not doing as well. So we have all these numbers. I'm not sure why the law and justice number from the state, and looking at the numbers this morning, that was still missing. So hopefully that doesn't have the same potential effect as what happened to the PUD privilege tax and some other taxes where the state ended up giving us money, then giving a negative in a month because they set the budget expense side too low to not cover the revenues that actually came in. Right now, we're still not getting an answer from the state of what if they're going to solve that. How they get one number, but they don't have that number match the other number. So you could do what we're going is we're doing really well in gross sales in this county, but we don't get any benefit from it if the state decides to have that expense side of the budget of paying it out at a lower amount than the revenues coming in, which means then the state gets to keep the extra money and we actually get less revenue than we did 2-3 years ago, even though things are better now.
Why would they get to keep that?
Okay, well, say you have a budget for $80 million, but revenues come in at 90 million.
Okay.
They only pay out 80 million and keep the 10.
But if those sales are here in Grant County,
They still don't matter. If the state says the legislator says they only can spend on this budget cap of 80 million, that's all they can spend.
They won't do a budget.
Now, if they want to increase the budget to be higher for those potential revenues to come in, then we can get our money. But if they keep it or lower it, we get less money. That's what our legislators did. That's why I kept asking is when are we gonna have a meeting with the legislators to talk about all these issues? Or do we have actually anything planned to talk to them?
talk to them.
I don't think we have anything.
To Dent or Warnick and,
You could bring it up at the league conference. The league summit.
because I don't know if they're even aware of this. I don't know if they're aware of the problems with TIF. I don't know a lot of things. I don't know what they know.
If we don't take it to them, they probably don't know.
Right.
And if we don't take it to them, it's not important to them.
Yep. So, so that's the revenues of there. I still have no reports at all for months on the other things that don't come from the state. So I don't know where we're at on those revenues. That revenue report that we get for property taxes and all this other things. I've also, I also provided the thing I used to provide, which is this showing cash positions at the end of September. Where we're at compared to a year ago. The one number I don't really believe much in is the current expense number. Because we have a lot of transfers that hadn't been done by the end of September, where we had to do the offset against current expense because we got payables and stuff that weren't balancing of who pays for those payables. And so we used current expenses default so we could actually get a month-end report done. And I don't know if we've had those turned in yet to fix those. So that's why it's kind of hard to know our cash position for year end until all those things are resolved. I don't know all the potential, how much higher our balance will be. We just got our 18 million today for CoreLogic on mortgages. But again, remind you on property taxes, that our second half taxes this year are gonna be a lot less than what we got last year because of all the refunds.
Yeah.
Because the refunds happen, which means we don't get money at all from these entities. So we are now, in regards to, this is just in regards to jail construction. Also, I did want to point out on this cash position, we have a little over 39 million left.
Yep.
Everything looking fine?
Everything's looking good. Well, we have 39 million left, but we just did the $60 million bond. No,
That's what's now.
No, that's correct.
After.
Yes.
So all we got left is just 40 million with interest.
Yep.
Earnings.
Michelle was like, it's in the black filing cabinet in the office. I walk in there and there's two
So,
cabinets.
We're
I was
good.
like,
Our
"It's a real
expenses
devil's
for the rest of the
work, we're on
project.
a roll."
So I was just wondering, we're not gonna
Like-
tap into that. We'll see, we got the 39.
That's
No.
funny.
Okay, so we have this as a backup
But
to
I
pay.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to.
Okay, that's, because we're depending on that backup to back up to pay other things.
Where
So,
was that 39 on here, right here?
Yep.
Yeah, so on here, as we go through the budget, because, so from 26 through 30, right, we don't have any revenue surplus.
They're just talking about the jail.
But that, we're gonna have to come up with that to pay the debt service, right?
yes,
Yep, so, and we can use,
and we use this.
we can use REIT, we can use economic enhancement, or something else, right?
We can use the criminal justice sales. Well, the first thing is, it's all coming from criminal justice sales tax.
Right. Thanks.
And all this is saying is the revenues we're expecting to come in.
Yep.
Were not gonna be enough to pay the debt for
Right.
those years.
And these, yeah, highlighted in yellow is what was
Which means-
actuals, so.
What it means is then we
I'm sorry,
have to
what?
tap that fund
I
for
was
something
thinking
else
thought.
to,
Thank you, sorry, didn't mean to scare
for
you.
that, but we still have all this money that's
Oh,
pledged to pay
right.
debt.
Okay,
And our goal is to not tap that hardly at all.
right. Well, yeah, yes, and yeah, my goal is, yeah, to have money left over from this, right?
Mandy, this is the one you gave us, right?
But, so our original budget for the morgue was
Yeah,
$6 million, but
Daryl
right now
gave
we're
us-
looking at about
You
8.
gave us this one.
So that we
I
could use
gave you
that
the
for
one
that.
blue,
Okay.
so
I
Daryl
don't
did
know, I
one.
thought we were dedicating,
You
well,
can do it.
Well, some of it depends on how much we save from this.
But I don't
so.
think it's different.
And the morgue,
Yeah, it should be the same, because I used Daryl's data.
debt is
well,
not as long.
right.
Is it the same?
Oh, yeah.
I should have brought
I thought we were,
it in big
I
numbers.
thought we were using another fund to pay the morgue debt.
No, he has.
I thought we were paying either SIP monies.
Maybe he just has a month. I haven't
Well, yeah,
looked
so
at
the
it.
annual
That's
payment
the
is
there.
664, 666, so.
Which I think we were talking about economic enhancement and REIT,
Right,
Yeah.
and you, that's the 113 or 133?
33.
133 has over 6.5 million in it.
What the difference is.
Yeah,
I
it's
just-
So I thought this was a drop in the bucket for that,
Yeah.
since that still grows every year. So that would, it would be a negative growth and start dwindling that number down a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's really wrong.
So I figured it's gonna come out of 133
$1 million.
for that.
It's picking up something else.
And so we were touching, the we were
debt service-
touching,
The debt service payment you're
Yes.
talking about.
yes.
Okay. Yep.
That we were
Yeah, it's
dedicating
like-
the
it's
SIP
like quadruple
133, which is the
Like,
5
we
nines.
have the table of all
Five
the cash sheets.
Okay.
I could
So,
not.
that
I'm
might
sorry.
be-
5.9.
It's the 5 nines, so 113.
13 is.
Okay.
Oh,
So go
yeah, the one
Daryl.
place I
Yeah.
don't actually put the details.
Yeah, I was trying to
This
get
is-
the.
I was telling
data
Tom
into
that.
so
I
can
want-
run the reports out of GP.
I want
Okay,
details
yeah,
on
because
the
you're
phone
the
number.
rest is 5
Okay.
million, yours is
That just made
Yeah.
it.
Okay, yeah, so that was what we
So,
planned,
yeah,
is using something
it
else and
took
not
all
touching
this-
that money
now that I
for the
think about
more.
it,
Yeah.
Plus,
And then I just need to ask her if these transfers, now these numbers, these are
So
based,
the revenues
these are based on
probably
published numbers in
okay,
either our
but
SAR
what it
reports or the
did
revenue
is it
reports that we have
summed
published on
the
our
cash
website.
balance
So
of every month.
those numbers must be
Okay.
right,
So the
otherwise
cash balance
accounting's
is
not
wrong.
right. So I just need to make sure that those
Because-
transfers were made, because I don't see where they were.
It had 9 cash sheets.
Okay, revenue is incorrect with the
Yeah,
expenses.
Can I
Unused-
ask a question
No,
about
revenue
something?
expenses are probably correct. They're cumulative for the year, but the
At
cash
the
on hand
inception
is
of this bond,
summarizing
was
Correct.
it
the ending
decided
cash for each month.
which
So
funds
like if
we
your
could
ending
borrow
cash at the end
from,
of
or
January
is that
20
just
million,
the rule
end
of
February
thumb?
22 million, it's adding them up.
Well,
That's
before
why it's
you
so
incur
much.
debt, you have to figure out where your resource
Yeah.
is to pay the debt.
Yeah.
You don't
So
incur it
just
until you know
like
that
cash
answer.
in hand
Right,
is no
but
one
those
else.
3 funds that,
So,
The
well, so
cash
the
on
original
hand
89 million
column
was
is
based on
no
a 3 tenths of 1%.
barrels is
Okay, so
good.
that was what was identified.
But the revenues and expenses should
And
be
then
good
when we did the 60 million, we
for
knew
the,
that the 3 tenths of 1% wouldn't cover the
for
whole
the
thing.
cumulative for these
But
years.
we were gonna use, that's what these years,
Is it not good?
these 26 through 30,
I don't
that's
know.
our projected shortfalls. We identified either read economic transfer or something else for those 4 years.
Well, that's
And
2024.
then after that, we should be caught up. We should have grown enough that
That would
we're
be
back
why.
to just
Okay.
using the
No,
3
Thank
tenths.
you.
So we did identify those funds
okay.
when we originally
And
started.
are
I don't
those
think he
rules
gave you the
within
revenues. I
those
think he just
funds
gave you
where
the
you can
balances.
tap them? Do you get my question?
2025 balance.
I do, I believe
And
it
the change
is.
from year to
Okay.
year.
I'd have to go back.
When we
and
go
look
through the
at those.
budget process, we create, well, we have the expense side, and then the question is are we transferring money from another fund to cover those
This is
expenses?
fun.
So then they,
Oh,
and
I
they
get
keep
all my
track of the
reports like this.
transfers, of the transfers.
You have
that
terrible
when we
eye,
need-
if you have terrible eyesight, Tom will take care of you.
These numbers
That makes
right
sense.
here,
You know,
Right on.
This
this
is
was, regarding, we're gonna call them,
all of
regarding.
these numbers. These sales tax numbers.
Jail
Those are based off of revenue.
So the answer is no.
So-
not all transfers.
There's supposed to be a transfer.
That's the first
5%.
year was.
After you make this debt service payment, okay, so you have a remainder, we're supposed to get 5% of that remainder. deposit.
I might do that, actually.
These two have not, this is projected because we're
Did
not
you
at
get this?
2020, the end of
Not a bad
2025.
No.
But it doesn't look like those funds have been transferred. And I know-
Oh, yes, it is.
Kevin's scratching his
The
head.
5% of the 1%, the 5%.
It's 5%, it's 5% of revenue surplus.
He's scratching
Yeah,
his
okay,
head. It's going well,
um,
I can tell.
Apparently.
For just
Okay, so
2025?
this one that
or-
No,
gave
no,
us
we don't know
really limited
2025 yet
cash on
because we
hand
haven't,
right here.
we haven't received all of our taxes for 20. It's always a year behind. So
And then just. the
in
cash on
January
hand
or
here is
February of
incorrect,
2024, we should have
revenue expenses are
deposited
good.
for 23.
Go into your own cash
So
on
I
hand.
thought,
Because these are
and
24
I
numbers.
mean, it certainly was under a misconception,
Yeah.
but I thought the was 5% was being kept in that fund and to be spent for those purposes.
It's 5% is being saved for future capital requirements, like 10 years from now.
Yeah. The
Well,
100,000 a year approximately, right?
Well, we know exactly how much it is because it's been calculated out. We decided 5% of the revenue surplus would go towards that fund. The rest of it was going to be managed by the commissioners, not like just given to the sheriff or something for him to use willy-nilly. So
So you don't want to keep it commingled in the Prop 1 fund?
Correct.
No. No, we quick, well, the new fund, this is the fund, what, 311?
That's the old, wait,
311 was
see, the
created.
fund numbers changed like 2 years ago.
yeah.
So 311 is the place where the transfer goes into.
Your, the cash on
Which always
hand
shows
is
96.
summing all the months ending cash on hand.
And that's odd because
Because it should be more.
it should be, well, so.
So I don't know.
The second year, the first year should have been 121,000, and we have, we have these numbers posted on our website in our revenue reports.
I think that 121,000 was when the bond came in and we just dumped it.
You think?
Don't you
Is
think?
that your bond
Cash
breakdown
on
right
hand.
there?
Yeah.
Are you
How
sure?
much, I mean, if that's not what we have,
nope,
what is the cash?
I
on
just-
hand?
kinda
yeah,
remember
we
It's
only-
receiving
around
it.
22 million. Daryl gave us
22
something,
million,
a report that has
652.
cash on hand.
Do you have- did you get
22.6.
this?
Oh, I didn't get Daryl's.
Okay, let me print it for you.
Oh, thanks.
Anyway, I just wanted to make sure that, yeah, we don't want it commingled. It
So,
should be in that
It
fund by
looks like
itself.
the fairgrounds is in
Well,
the
which
data.
fund should be in?
311?
Yeah,
So it
because
should
they
stay
haven't
in
had
the
transfers
construction
done.
fund.
Okay. I'm just,
Well, the construction fund is 313.
The jail construction fund? It doesn't have its own?
It does have its own.
Mark, do you have a copy of this too?
313 and 311.
I don't.
311 should be the repository for that transfer.
And then we're not spending out of it yet. It's for
No.
future.
No, and we can only spend out of it through consent on the jail. So it's, 10 years from now when an air handler breaks. So currently, if you think about deferred maintenance in county government, current expense doesn't cover all of the maintenance actions we need to do to keep our buildings up to date. And there's no way you can add 183,000 square feet and still use current expense that already isn't keeping up to keep up with that. So that's why we created this, so that we could have a fund just specific to that facility, because that facility is larger than this entire campus. There needed to be a way to take care of 15 years from now when an air handler goes down. I don't want to do a budget extension or come to the commissioners and ask. I want to come to the commissioners and ask and say, hey, I have this fund with 380,000 in it. We need to replace this thing at the jail for 120,000. And we have a dedicated fund to do that.
That is one of the benefits of trying to coordinate the whole, capitalizing and depreciating and setting aside those funds.
Absolutely.
Okay,
If they,
thank you.
Hopefully that helps.
if the jail's making revenue, will
Get
that
on the revenue.
revenue go into that fund? Could it go into that fund?
I don't know. I would imagine if they're making revenue, they're going to want it to go into whatever their other funds that they can do that with. So
Could they do like a 10% maintenance fund into that fund?
they could. It's their facility.
Well, first thing is, what is where's the revenue they're getting now going to? No, but when they get revenue, when we get revenues for other entities for having prisoners in our jail, which, is it going into current expense?
We don't have it.
But we used to.
I don't know where it went. Cindy, when they had, like
DOC.
federal prison, DOC, where'd that funding go?
It went into the jail's budget, the sheriff's budget, so they put
It went
the,
into current expense, it
Yeah, it went
wouldn't be
into current
budget, it
expense.
went into current expense.
Yeah.
So if the money's went into current expense in the past, that's your current practice.
So
So could we make it so that if, say for instance, they start renting out rooms at the new facility, that it goes into current expense, but percentage of it goes into a maintenance fund?
that
So
would be
there's
good. That
a
would just,
maintenance fund, a separate maintenance fund for that specific
well, they
jail.
usually estimate, that's part of the revenue that they bring in, when the sheriff's office brings in revenue.
Right.
So they
As a
use
matter
it
of
to
fact-
offset whatever they want to purchase or
Because I guess we'll see when the sheriff's budget, what revenue did they project
as a matter of
for when the jail opens for
starting
next year?
in
I don't know if we do have that many
2030.
I don't have any right
property
now.
corrections
Yeah.
right now.
Not only are we supposed to do that 5%, but there's an equipment replacement fund that also comes out of
What do you
forecasting for that longer.
Is that the $100,000?
We can go
We have
over it
it
later,
built in.
but I just want to make sure that those transfers get done and that the funds
Amount.
aren't
Have you seen that
commingled,
one?
that they're in separate where they should be.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
that-
know how
we
much
built
I
it
can
in
get
for
in
the
the
whole
fall.
operation.
So Kevin, just because it's for the looking.
Apparently there's 800,000 in there,
That seems like a lot for something that
In
has.
what?
in that
For the end.
account
In
that,
the 311.
311, yeah.
There should be.
According to your,
Well, no,
There
this,
shouldn't-
there's,
That's cash on hand's not right.
it's,
Yeah, there shouldn't be that.
well, then never mind.
yeah,
There
this
should be like
not
300.
much.
Divide the cash on hand by 9. And you get closer.
There should be
Never
about
mind, you-
330,000 in there. And then that's going to sit stagnant until 2030.
Oh my God.
It took me a little bit to.
No. Okay. So
Where did you get these?
our reserve.
Oh,
I took
The county's
the
reserve.
cash
Do we do that
balances
as a percentage or do we do that
September
as
and September
a
24.
targeted amount?
Do we
took
have
out a whole
county
bunch of the
policy
Yep.
for
funds that
minimum
were
fund
not
balance
as
or
important.
rainy
But this
day
came from the
funds,
cash.
Yeah, we have a rainy day, yes, we
so
do.
really,
We have to
they've
have
only
3
got
months.
96. So those transfers.
I think,
Got it.
Daryl, do we have 2 or 3 months of rainy day fund? Do we have 2 or 3 months of our budget that we have to have in a reserve? What is it, 2 months?
You did on a percentage basis, which, I believe your last one was 20%.
20%. That's what I thought.
Wow.
So,
So we
Of
have,
which other counties are 10 or less.
Yeah.
so do we have a way to verify that our reserve fund is healthy at that 20%?
Well, our reserve fund is the cash balance.
Yeah.
That's the
but-
cash balance, okay.
yeah, we don't have it.
Well, see, that's the whole point is last year, we were trying to target a reserve balance in 5 years and to slowly go down to it. Now that we have some major possible hiccups to our revenue side for
You're gonna need
sales
to slow down
tax,
so
then
we're
we
there.
may not be wanting to go that fast.
So do you know what our cash balance is right now?
22 million.
Todd, did you get this page?
Oh, I did. I'm just asking.
Oh, but do you, I can photocopy it.
No, I got it. I
Okay.
got it. So, okay.
This is at the end of September. And so, yeah, it's just, but until we have all the transfers done, all the monies that reimburse current expense, I don't know what our current expense actual balance is right now. And then we got the big revenue months, but the big revenue months aren't as big this time around because of the property tax change.
Okay, so real quick, I want to ask Mandy. So Mandy, when we've got to do some budget transfers, or Daryl, whoever's doing the budget transfers, Is our bottom line gonna remain the same, or do we have, okay, we have transfers outside of.
Couple million, that's gonna affect it.
Okay. In the positive or the negative?
Negative.
Okay.
I was really trying to get them done before the end of September, but it just.
No, I just kind of gives me an idea of where, so we're probably closer to 19.
Closer to 20, yeah,
For 20, okay.
Does that include the 105 fund, the budget transfers from 105?
No, that's in a separate fund. So you mean it would increase it? It would change for the salaries that'll come out of 105. The transfer would be a positive one. But about 500, half million.
I'm gonna ask some dumb questions because.
Why is there an increase into that fund?
No, 105 would increase current expense to
So
some.
you mean that employee benefit training work would actually balance would go down?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that balance would go down.
But current expense would go up.
Yes.
So it'd be kind of in the scheme of things.
Offset it a smidge.
Yeah.
And Tom, your question?
Yeah, so that 108 fund, the 15 million for mental health, what is that for?
Renew?
That is Renew, okay.
Yeah, actually it's 18.
I'm sorry?
You went to the 24 number, 18 million.
Yeah, 18 million, sorry.
Yeah, that's their money.
That's how we always try to, if we have to divide things up amongst our county, get it out of current expense and share it with Public Works and Renew.
Yeah, I think they're close to 20, Public Works close to 40.
Can you check with Michelle and see who is supposed to be paying for the Tyler annual subscription this year? Is that still, do you guys have the funds for that? Or?
Yeah, that's coming out of our ERP fund 123.
It is, that's coming out of 123, okay.
My
So I'll
understanding
have
it'll
to-
turn over to you guys
Next year,
next year.
because Joe had that in his budget this year, so I want to make sure I reduce that.
So are we paying the 2020, this new, the software for the new, for Tyler, and then the software update for our current payroll?
GP, because we have to pay the subscription for
Do we
GP as
pay
well.
GP still?
I don't know, I don't think that comes out of 123, I think that comes out of,
Yeah, but I didn't know because it's several $100,000, so I didn't know if we still needed to pay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
360,000.
because we're still operating, fully functioning out the payroll module.
We're almost $1 million between GP and Tyler.
Yeah, we gotta get that down to one quick.
Because I mean, even though we're only using the payroll function, it still has to operate like it's being hired.
I wonder if we could ask for a discount.
I'll ask.
Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, still I'll ask.
On the problem that what I learned this morning on the pre-tax. Does pre-tax also, does the employer side get the benefit of a pre-tax as well?
What do you mean by benefit?
Well, if the employee is paying less Social Security on a lesser amount than their salary, we still have a matching part.
Mm-hmm.
Is the matching part at the pre-tax benefit or on the full wage?
It's the employer contribution is on the pre-tax wage, so full wage.
Okay, so that means your spreadsheet is, when we calculate Social Security, is making no assumptions about pre-tax, and we're just paying, because the Social Security is being taxed on the full salary at the 7.65. So that means we're over budgeting for Social Security on everyone's budget then, until we have,
Minuscule.
it's a lot,
How much could that be?
$6,000 and for, you would,
Just him.
so if we're calculating 7.65 and actually a pre-tax for this office is around 7.27, then that gap on the total salaries of 500,000 is just for my office.
So by calculating the budget at the gross wage for the full 0.062% is, there's a variance of almost 6,000 per $150,000.
No, I'm just saying that when you're putting all the budgets together for salary, doing it on we're calculating on 7.65 versus a pre-tax potential that may be 7.273 or 3. Instead, that gap of rate is what we're budgeting that's over what's needed to pay. Now, unless you were planning on using that extra money we have in Social Security, Medicare, to when we have pay raises, to then not have to raise that Social Security amount because it's already inflated.
I don't know if we've ever analyzed how much we're over or under on our benefits.
would.
I think it,
But it does seem like it's pretty minor compared to.
I think it'd
all the
probably
other
be a
guesses that
wash
we
with
do.
where we underestimate on employee changes and different types of coverage and just the annual increases that happen that we're not calculating for because we don't know them yet, because those percentages are going to go up for LNI, for all of those things, and we're calculating on the last year's rate. So I think it's gonna be a wash. So even if we're overestimating a little bit on the gap there in Social Security, it's not gonna be a surplus of money in their budget.
Well, Daryl, 1 year in his budget, he was within $17.
If you would like to
when
do
this
the
year
budget,
ended.
Daryl, I would gladly.
No, I was just seeing the opportunity because if we look at our total salaries that are part of our current expense budget, how many tens of millions is it?
I mean,
Times this gap?
I could do a quick analysis just to see like how far we're off each year, but honestly, how much time do we want to spend on being precise in that if it ends up not being very off at the end?
Okay, yeah, I just don't know the definition of very off.
5,000?
We're
I'd
talking
say less
about,
than 2% would be a nominal amount to the budget.
What do you think it is, Daryl? You probably have the number. in
well,
your
no,
head.
well, 2% times 20, 30 million is quite a number.
So.
But I don't think, is that our enrollment?
Our floor is like $40,000, Daryl. Our financial floor for errors.
Well, I'm not talking about audit issues. I'm talking about just for the budget balancing process. We actually are calculating a Social Security that's more than actually what will be paid in each department if you use because of the pre-tax part of the equation.
But it's fine because we don't budget to the level of Social Security. If we get to redistribute that in the other areas, the other benefits, and we get to redistribute that into the other expense types as well. So it's a benefit to the department to have a little bit of cushion there for things that they didn't think of when they created their budget.
Okay, okay.
I mean, as long
No,
as
I was thinking that the departments weren't supposed to have access to unspent monies in the salary benefit side to pay for other things in their budget.
They don't, I can't arbitrarily say, Mandy, I know I'm over on Social Security, I want to use that to pay this. I can't do that.
Mhm.
No, but if come December, you
And my
spend
bucket,
$10,000 less on your benefits, you could buy something else in goods and services.
well, my understanding is we've got a bucket of funds, right? And, it's all set down in various line items. If I'm over on 2 or 3 line items, but I'm under my total budget allocation, I'm okay. And in that way, Social Security might be paying for something or something else might be.
Yes.
If I reduce an employee, I am now saving on Social Security, right?
Yes.
So that money accumulates towards the end, and all of a sudden I've got an overage that I can pay for some other overage somewhere else. So in that respect, yes,
Yeah.
it does, but.
Remaining part of the treasurers is Carrie giving an update. What's the latest update for the treasurer's financial package? Anything happening lately?
Yeah, actually, we've hit kind of a milestone with the whole warrant side. We sent out our first packet of, it was a mass email, but all the districts got new reports. That's exciting, and nobody, called complaining, so that's a win. Yeah,
It's a big
so
celebration.
I think everybody's liking what they're seeing. So now the next phase is to kind of, move forward and kind of.
Get the revenue side,
Yeah.
other side together for the report, figure out what our future STAR report will look like
Yep.
in his version of
Yep.
what we like that's readable.
Are you gonna keep it as a summary transaction and what's gonna be
Well,
the
yes,
moon report?
it's gonna be a financial summary. So, yeah. The only thing that it won't include is property tax information, but we have a workaround. Another county, I believe it was Skagit, they upload onto their website all of the tax receivable reports. And so everybody can just go grab them, which will save on postage and
So
all that jazz. Yeah.
we also have Power BI from Microsoft.
Yes, Keith. Keith has been,
Yes,
Awesome
and
with
I
that.
could aggregate all of that data from the assessor and treasurer's office and make it available to the public. Plus they get cool pie charts that tell them exactly where we are. So
pie charts.
Just to read,
the problem is getting the data from.
Right.
just to let you know, we've added more things to the treasurer's webpage. Now, all the original tax statements for this year. So we have all these tax services and completely and all these entities that ask, well, I lost their tax statement, can send a number, we just send them to the webpage to download it, and we're giving them a lot of information. Plus investment reports and all these type of things, so that to have all these things available to the public. So we're still getting a bunch of calls from tax services, and they get mad when I tell them to just go to our website.
I think
That's
it's
why
just
we,
retraining them.
I know, but it's hard to retrain someone that's actually working from another country,
There's that.
because they say they don't have access to the internet.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I just say, I have a hard time believing your job will not have access to the
Our
internet.
227 how many don't have access to internet? I mean, I'm sure.
Well, no,
They've all got iPhones.
and I keep asking, oh, let me talk to your manager, and they never want to transfer to the manager. Because I don't even know if the manager would actually be the person I'd be talking to, so how would I even
He
know?
just changes his voice.
So that's it for the treasurer's financial committee. Oh, we didn't do with the, yes. Now,
She came
to get
prepared.
that, we had 2 months worth of minutes. August and September. That's September. I just don't have August. So what we have is,
What?
we never got August last month, so
Didn't
we,
we cancel it?
Yeah.
We canceled it, girl.
I didn't cancel my part.
Good memory.
I sent my reports. So, all right, so I need a motion to approve the minutes for September.
For the
Did
minutes,
they,
right?
yeah, I guess Rob needs to see it first.
I don't know. I'm 16.
Normally the minutes aren't right. Just gonna throw that out there.
Goodness.
That's the minutes.
We were here, we discussed something. I can't get logged on.
Are you trying to log on?
Need that.
My Windows.
I don't know, it says I wasn't here, so can I make a motion?
Remote
If I
desktop.
wasn't
I
present?
think I don't have
I
my
don't
log.
think
We had the meeting, yes, because you're on the minutes, it's okay.
It
if you're
says
not
attending
here.
were Kevin
It's
Burgess.
capital
and
letter. It's always
Carr,
capital
Just tell me,
commissioners.
just let me
Yes,
know
you're
that
just
is
doing
your
the
county
minutes,
phone.
that you've
Yes,
seen the
yeah.
minutes. So you can verify that one.
That was a
Rules
giggle.
are when two of the,
Come on, light
We
that.
had people doing that with their personal.
Oh, we're not allowed to do that?
Well, those are the minutes.
I haven't done that. Why would I do
I'm
that?
good.
But,
So moved,
You have to
Darrell.
hold.
That is the correct
we have a
frame of
motion
mind.
to
but I
approve the
have, but I
minutes for
have a
September.
phone.
I
If
have
didn't
second,
one-
all those favor, I say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we've approved the minutes for September.
Are you tracking those minutes, Barb?
I don't, the secretary does. That's the finance committee minutes. I don't do those at all.
Is that Michelle, the secretary?
Yes, and she's got them right here. I think we post them online too normally, but we're a little behind on that.
So go ahead and sign away.
So when we start the budget meetings next week, the budget process, you've got the big screen up there and you're showing all your stuff. Commissioners, I think Cindy, we talked about this a little bit last week too. What columns do you want to see up there as we're looking at the various department budgets? Do you want to see
I like this
2024? Go ahead.
25 budget, what they've spent so far, but they've received, it's kind of nice, and then what they're
So,
20,
on budget
26.
actuals, the 26%, do you want 24 actuals?
I do.
No?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Okay, if you want 24s.
Well, when you say what we spent so far,
Where we're at, like if they've spent 80%, like if they have a budget for, let's just say, personnel,
We're talking about on the display, when the columns are up there in Tyler,
and they've only spent 50% worth, but we're at the end of the year, we'll say, maybe you don't need 50%, maybe we could reduce your budget.
and when does it start?
the budget
Next week.
meeting's next week.
Right, but are we gonna be, how far up to be able to do spend so far to what month?
September,
Okay, because we only have July right now,
September.
okay?
I will get it done. I promise.
Will transfers be done for that too?
They won't be reflected in the cash balance, but I can get them done before then, yes.
And you feel like we're dumping a whole lot, is there something like, somebody we can,
I don't
Get
think
to
you have
help
enough
do all
to
this?
talk about cash balance for current expense next week. Because we're not, October's gonna be a big month of differences, of changes. If
We've
we,
always had like a follow-up and reevaluated.
we usually do our budget meetings in October, so.
I have no idea what the cash balance is gonna be.
What do you need to understand that?
Well, since we have all these we use current expenses as an offset for all these accounts payables that we haven't got the fixes yet for. That Connie sent a while ago.
Yeah,
And so we use current expense to pay for the payables when it could have been another fund that was supposed to be paying the payables.
yeah, but we know that number. I don't have it off my top of the head, but we
Okay,
have
oh,
it.
so they've been given to Connie?
Nope, we need to find out where they belong, yes, but we know what that number is in current expense.
So you're just gonna disclude it?
And then, of course, then ignoring that, then just the transfers for, say, the tourism
Yeah,
fund. I don't know if that comes from current expense or if it comes from a different department.
we'll have that accounted for though.
Okay, because we don't know if it's a current expense transfer that hasn't been done yet, like for the fair.
Yes,
It's in the negative, so I was expecting that there's a transfer from current expense to go to the fair fund to get it into the positive.
yes,
Will we get those transfers to put into October?
yes. But we won't have them in September's cash balance.
Right, but yeah, because when we start working on monthly reports next week, we're just wondering, just all those transfers to these funds that were put in the budget that have a big impact on current expense. And so we'd sure like to make October hopefully a good, close number.
Yeah,
And I agree, because HR has paid for things that should have come out of 105, and I don't know if those transfers have been made. It doesn't sound like they have been.
no,
So
those,
HR is in the red until those transfers are made.
yeah, we didn't know about those invoices till last week though. So, they're not part of our normal operating expenses. But if you send me the invoices, we can get that done and have it accounted for, whether it's reflected in our GL or not, I don't know.
Yeah, we sent them.
I remember meetings about sending those. How long ago was that? 105 was a while ago.
For the salary survey payment invoices that have been coming in.
Is that the one, Gina?
Yeah, we sent them, I think Tina sent them to Joe, well, through Tyler last week. Michelle, you weren't here, but Michelle gave Tina access to 105, but I don't know that it went anywhere.
Yeah, that got paid, but prior to that, nobody had access to pay out of 105 except for accounting. And so nobody had, so any invoices that were to be paid out of 105 had to happen via transfer or an invoice that accounting initiated. And so this last week, HR initiated a payment out of 105, but they paid some out of HR.
Right. So transfers.
Do we have a question?
No, I don't.
I think Caitlin is.
She's
maybe-
muted.
Oh, I don't know who's unmuted.
Sorry, I was helping somebody at the desk, and so I just jumped in at the end there. I had paid a couple of invoices out of 105. Aaron had given me access for that.
Yeah,
For
come on.
NeoGov or for the local gov trainings?
I think it was the NACO, it was something NACO that I had paid out of there. It was, I think, towards the beginning of the year. And without having it right in front of me, I couldn't tell you when it was. But
Yeah, and so those were the only ones that were authorized to do it.
So was my budget hearing one of the
Yeah,
first
the NACO
of this,
training,
all these hearings?
Yes, because you're sixth in line, Daryl, from the top.
No, that should not be.
Right, but I'm early in the morning.
So once the
Or not that early in the morning, but I'll-
Yours at 1
you know,
o'clock
like maybe seven
on Monday.
votes will be frozen, so we'll
Yes.
go ahead. This is that.
That's not
No,
really
well,
the
so-
point.
Use for that.
does that hearing include treasurer's O&M? Is that treasurer's O&M a separate hearing?
And
Not
training,
hearing,
use it for
the
training.
meeting, but
Okay.
I will tell you, if you double click your calendar appointment, all of them are listed within there. So it says current expense, treasurer O&M, treasurer Turkey, treasurer Hillcrest, and REIT 139. There you go.
Okay. And tomorrow's the deadline.
Anyway, for the actual visuals, going back to that
Yeah,
original
yeah.
question, it's gonna be 2026 budget. Then we're gonna have 2025 budget and 2025 actuals to date. Do you want 2024 budget or 2024 actuals or both?
I would.
Actuals is the only, actuals is the only thing of value.
Yeah,
So,
That would be Rob if he wants a 2024.
Yeah, I want 24
yeah.
Actual
24
or
actuals.
budget?
actuals.
but not budget.
Right.
Okay, and 2023, because that's, we can have that. No,
I think
Don't,
once
don't
you put,
color it.
I think once you put that up there, you're gonna start, because of the screen, you're gonna start scrolling left and right while you're going up and down, and it's gonna drive everybody nuts. So I think you're gonna wanna minimize, you wanna maximize the data available, but minimize how much screen you take up, so you can expand it and
The
make
only
it.
budgeted part you care about is 2025, 2026, and then the rest is actuals for 2025, 2024.
Hopefully that helps a little bit.
And so you guys are going to have the capability, whether you want to or not, to be logged in to see it live on Tyler in the projection. It's gonna be up where? Here, oh, you're not, I thought you were gonna get a different screen.
No, I
We have
do.
a
I
screen
have
he's gonna
I have
pull
a
down.
screen. So one of the problems that we have up here, the reason
We
why I
can't
want as
see.
few columns as possible is we want to make the numbers as big as we can because it's really hard to see. So I'm gonna have I've got a projector screen as well that I can put somewhere. And I'll either be running it from my laptop or from another one, following along so that they can see it.
So
in
Tom
bigger
will be
numbers.
sitting right here and it.
I think
can't remember
Decor
who's
is
gonna
sitting up
be.
there
Decor is
too,
sitting
so.
between Rob and Kevin, so we will be on the bench. And then you will have the whole table for your team or in the presenters. You'll have more room on the table.
Okay.
You can bring 20 people if you want, Mandy.
I don't have to. That works for me.
I'm assuming, and I'm just thinking of process here and the way we'll do that. I'm assuming the two of you will be here with Michelle. And that way we're going over the budget, we're having the discussions, but somebody is actually inputting the data and keeping it going. So do you think 3 is good, or would you want a 4th to help? You don't want it to be a one-man show like last year, right?
Are you needing Vanessa to help or?
I mean, I can ask Vanessa if she'd like to. I'm thinking about from your office, so.
Oh, well, we don't really have resources to.
I'm more than happy to bring Vanessa in here and help. I'm sure that she would.
No, I was wondering if that's what that was. I think it'll be fine with me and Amanda and Michelle. Michelle won't be here one or two of the days, but
Maybe we could put Joe down for those two.
So one thing I'm confused about is if we're entering into Tyler and Tyler merges a bunch of numbers together, then your actuals of past history will not make sense.
you're talking about the conversion of accounts.
Right.
Well,
So are you gonna keep to the current breakout so that you can get this year over with? Or are you're gonna see numbers, you're gonna see a lot less lines for 26 and things combined together?
Or,
they're gonna be 2026, they're gonna be Tyler format.
yeah, because the only thing you can, when you talk about importing everybody's budgets this year, you're just importing the 2026. You don't really have the ability to import 24 and 25, right?
We have 2024 and 25, we've already converted it into
Okay,
Tyler.
so
accounts.
it'll be
So
in
it's
there.
gonna be merged numbers.
Yes, there'll be a lot less lines.
So that will be difficult then as we go through it. And
To explain the changes.
yeah, because we're not gonna be able, we're higher or lower. It's not gonna make any sense because things were combined and we won't know. So it's gonna be like, we're creating a new baseline.
Well, we still have the draft versions that have the GP account budgets that we can reference to see and easily capture that change, like at a glance. If it arises for a particular account, it's like, oh, why is this number so drastically different? We can go look back at that and see and explain, oh, well, that used to be three different lines. Now it's one line.
But for my situation, we found that some of the lines on some of the expenses should have been totally in a totally different area.
That was
So
just
then
an
if we're moving-
issue with the cross-reference, not the actual conversion data.
Yeah, because right now, is it gonna be showing up as a huge number under miscellaneous? Okay, or so are we supposed to be
Well-
merging it to the other places, of which then those other places look way higher than the past history and then look way lower someplace else?
Yeah, that is gonna happen. I mean, especially bringing miscellaneous, because now all those 10 different categories we had is now one. So, but if it comes up, we're gonna be able to look at the history and explain, well, if that's large now, because it used to be dues, subscriptions, registrations, travel, now it's miscellaneous.
And that's why I worry about travel. Okay, you get a travel budget, and if commissioners are wanting to try to keep travel under control, it now gets merged with a whole bunch of other things, and then you don't know if you kept it under control.
You don't necessarily keep, sorry.
But that's the thing is, I just want to make sure you guys knew that you have now less control of budget categories than we used to
Nothing
have.
changed with travel. Travel and training was always merged together as 543, and that's still 543 as an object code. So that didn't change at all, Daryl.
But it's not broken down.
It wasn't before in GP.
So
Not
what we
travel.
see is, I remember looking at budgets where everything's broken out.
Yeah, but the particular line item he's talking about didn't change at all as a category. It stayed 4300. For anything that's training and travel usually get combined together. Whether the travel is related to training or vice versa is not always the case, but they have always been classified together.
That actually did happen a couple of years ago where we had separate travel and training lines and facilities, and Katie put them to the same line and merged them together. So that was, but I think a better one to look at is your temporary help and overtime.
That is one.
Yeah,
is
that's,
combined.
is you could say, I'm gonna do this under temporary help, and then I use the money instead for overtime. And so,
Yeah, but you're gonna be able to drill down to detail. It's not like,
well, no, but I'm talking about commissioner's decision. They may say, oh, well, you can use this for temporary health, but they may not say you can use this for overtime.
but that would have happened in last year's budget and they could have used it either way, just the same. Whether you call it an apple or an orange, the amount of money that they authorized to fund.
Daryl, it's amazing how many things get hidden in miscellaneous or this or that. And when people say, I can find it in my budget, so I know Not everybody, every elected official or department head, but there are several that have little squirrel holes. I don't know what you want to call it, but they have little piles that they put excess funds in. So when something comes up and they need to purchase it, it's right there. And we've never been able to conquer that one. At least I haven't been able to.
The department heads ought to be tracking the use of temporary help and overtime, right?
And we get a
they ought to be
report.
reporting that either through me now or to the, through financial reports to the commissioners so that they can ask the question why there's so much overtime or temporary help required.
One of your offices is one of the higher users, because we do get that report, so we do track it.
I think there's ways to do that other than just looking at the number on a report. So, but I do agree, it's going to be weird. To me, it's more of a transparency thing. I don't want to necessarily want to drill down and figure it out.
Yeah.
When somebody from the public, sees the budget online and says, why'd you spend this much in this category? It's like, well, let me drill down and break it all out so I can tell you what it really is.
Most of them just look at the summary by fund anyway, and only the ones that are more vested go drill down to the details. So if somebody has an inquiry, they can contact us, they can put in public records, and they can drill down to more detail. I don't see it as less transparent, it's just more condensed.
I know where you're going with it. I know the calls I get.
Just gonna be more tracking on the department level.
Yeah, and
And I'm
the
okay with
day-to-day
that.
operating really should be at that level, not at the commissioner's level.
I'm sitting here going, and how am I gonna track
No,
all
I
this
agree.
stuff?
No, I've got a way I can track it. So, I mean, it's not.
The other thing about it is we really want to get away from specializing in the object codes because those are globally used across all the departments. And so when one department says that they want temporary help to be 1201, 1202, 1203.
Well,
it's
so
confusing for
realize that a
all
lot of departments didn't do that by choice, and it's not a poke at Katie, okay? But when they took over, our codes expanded quite a bit because they just started telling us, you can't buy it with that, it has to be this, you can't buy it with that, it has to be this. And our codes, they expanded quite a bit under Katie and Emily. So that's why now all of a sudden, it begs the question, who's right, who's not right? Now all of our codes are rolling back up, which is how we kind of used to it in the past. But for some reason, we weren't allowed to do that, and it all got changed. And so for us, the budget is perpetually, drastically changing. And man, it's nice to get to a budget that's just.
I haven't had a consistent budget since I got here.
Right.
Every year it's been
That's exactly
different,
right.
whether it's paper, digital, codes, it's been different. 1 year was 5-minute meetings.
Yeah.
It hasn't been consistent at all.
One of my big priorities for next year is to change how that reporting gets done to the board so that they're better informed and we have a better finger on our pulse of the budget all year. So.
Yeah, a part of that is not necessarily what's right or wrong, it's just a difference in style and understanding of the guidelines. And the inconsistency has to do with the turnover in personnel, not necessarily what's required at the budgeting level.
And I get that there's a lot on your plate and I keep asking you for revenue numbers, but I don't know anybody that's comfortable with where we are with the budget. Just nobody's comfortable with where we are financially. And it's just a scary thing. Especially going.
I'm lucky we have so much money.
I mean,
Because if we were one of those other counties that are trying to figure out, can I afford $1 million, this $1 million expense? That would be a problem.
Well, and that's why, it's a super interesting conversation that I had with a bunch of county administrators 2 weeks ago. As I listened to all these counties say, we've got 18 million in reserves and we've got a 16 million revenue shortfall. And we've got, they're talking about just, they're going to start laying people off. That's how they're going to fix their revenue shortfalls. And they're asking me how our budget's going. And I'm like,
Really great.
Yeah, we don't have a problem.
It's a secret till next week.
yeah, not telling you.
the thing that's missing for all of these departments is the formal report. Every department should have a copy of all of their deposits absolutely live to date and be tracking what they're getting. And the expenses are live through what we paid last week at any given time. I can run that and give that to anybody. It's just that formal report in the style that everybody wants is not available.
Well, that's That's why you have departments like me using QuickBooks, right? So we have real-time, reporting that and our op tempo is really high. We need to understand where our budget is on a daily basis because we're constantly making decisions and changes. There's always opportunities coming up at the fairgrounds. Jim's kind of in the same boat. I'd love to get rid of QuickBooks. I'm just hoping that Tyler is that fix that we can get there.
And I think that is the long-term goal, just the short-term.
You mean to have live data?
Not,
Because it's-
I mean, it's close to live.
We're not
I
sending
mean,
out
within,
But
Well,
to
not
get
that
rid of
we're not,
QuickBooks.
it's not, okay.
Get rid of QuickBooks,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
live data.
But I
Get rid
will
of QuickBooks.
say that
Something not 2
Tom is
months old.
tighter, closer on his
Sure.
budget than even Madeline when she was here.
Because
He was
I'm
always
not
fine.
interested in giving live data only because it creates,
Confusion.
it
Not
does, things change. Like,
know.
I go back and change something from the second, then somebody's got this report out there that's like, oh, but you said we had $10,000. Yeah, well, I
No,
made a keying error.
And live data, I'm using.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, but GP always being 2 months in arrear is problematic, right? Something more current
Mhm.
than 2 months.
Yeah.
And see, and it's, the formal report is 2 months in arrear usually, and it's only because we have to true up our revenues to the treasurer's system. But everything in GP, the expenses can capture to date what we've done.
Mhm.
And the treasurer side can capture to date what we ran through their banking. So we've got it.
Well, and people just
Track
need
and
to
monitor on
ask.
both
You don't
sides.
need a formal report to see where you're at.
Well,
Let me
and-
know. I'll write you a report.
How can you give me that?
Yeah, like Vernon County's not the only source of the revenues and expenses.
Still working on the budget.
I did your benefits, Daryl.
I know, but it took a while to figure out the new longevity rules. I'd asked HR where exactly on the website it was put. They finally found it for me.
I don't know.
But actually, the longevity actually gives the rates, but it doesn't describe the methodology. You have on the whatever you call the agreement. And you put down the rates, but you don't say what those rates represent. It doesn't say per month or anything. It just has the rates without definition. So was that going to be more clearer in the future in a contract?
I sure hope so.
Because I was going, okay, I got the rates now. What does it represent? And it doesn't give you any criteria of what that meant.
And longevity was not held by HR, it was held by accounting. So we are hoping to clean up that policy going forward with accounting and payroll.
Okay.
Yeah. It's, because it is messy to understand, you're right.
Okay.
I had a calculator.
No, I just
I
first,
used
before,
I have a
before,
tool, a
before,
tool for longevity.
right, but yeah, before I put down a number, I want to understand the math.
No, I have
Before
a
I put
specific
down the
longevity
number.
calculator.
I think it's on
And then I didn't have anyone that changed and everyone was still within a 5-year grid,
Well, I thought at the meeting.
except for one employee that doesn't get it at all for 5 years.
Yeah, I told him to be there when I got there.
And you work with Jonathan?
But yeah, he researched it for me
Okay.
That's what I told him.
because I had something. I already had what he sent me, but I didn't have, that something didn't have a clear what it meant.
Breakdown of it?
Well, the breakdown, but not what is this based on? It didn't say it was a per month number. So I had to figure out from all the reports what that right number represented. Nope, I'm done.
Cindy's gotta go.
You pay me $100, I'll
I just
calculate
don't know
all
if we're
the
gonna
longevity.
continue on it.
I've already did it.
I think we just committed a crime.
So Ralph,
That's a hard sale.
I think we're done.
All right, I guess we're gonna call it. We're done. You guys can leave. It's 2:04 PM and we're gonna recess.
I'll do my own number.